What's up, guys? Sam here. Welcome to this special vlog. We're going to be talking about a topic that is troubling to some. That question is college or no college? Before I get into this conversation, I want you all to know that in no way, shape, or form am I trying to judge anyone from going to college or not going to college. I went to college for 3 weeks personally, and I hated it. It wasn't for me, it wasn't something that I think was beneficial to me in any way, shape, or form. But I think that this is a topic that I feel I need to talk about with you guys because a lot of you are in high school right now. And a lot of you are probably in the mix of preparing yourself for life after high school. And I know that at this point in your lives, your guidance counselors are probably saying, oh, well, what are you going to do after high school? Are you going to go to college? Or, hey, maybe you should go to this university or that university. And maybe that's not what you want. Or maybe you're wondering whether or not that's actually something that's suitable for me. Well, don't worry. That's why I'm here. And that's why we're going to be talking about this today very briefly. So first thing is first, I think that the decision as to whether or not you should go to college depends on what it is you plan to do. Do you want to be a physicist? Do you want to be a doctor? Do you want to be a lawyer? Do you want to be, I don't know, an astronaut? Do you want to be someone who makes a difference in society? Do you want to be the next Stephen Hawking? Do you want to be the next Bill Nye, the science guy? It all depends on you. That's what it depends on. And, there's a misconception, I believe, in the world right now when it comes to college. A lot of people are brainwashed, as I say, in this theory that without college, you won't get a job. Without college, no one's going to want to hire you. Well, the reality is that that's something people have been saying to people since they finished middle school. Why? Because a lot of people, if you've noticed, a lot of people have said in the past, oh, if you don't graduate high school, you won't get a job, which is true. I mean, some of the basic requirements for getting a job, even at a Walmart, is a high school or GED requirement. So why is it that 5 years ago, the requirement was, or the saying was, finish high school so you can get a job, to go to college or else you're going to be homeless? Because that's basically what people are saying. The reason because of this, my friends, is because society has now shifted into a focus, into a concept that really is not factual. And in case you don't believe me, I'm going to spread some facts with you, share some facts with you, rather, about why you should consider perhaps not going to college. Here's the facts. Did you know that according to a 2019 study, 70% of Americans, specifically young people, go to college? But did you know that 30% out of the 70 end up dropping out after their first year? Why is that? Well, number one, the stress. College is not a playground, even though some people paint it to be a playground. I always say that people who go to college are going to college for two reasons. Either one, because their parents are super, super rich and they can afford it, and two, because they want to have fun, they want to get high, they want to get drunk, and really live la vida loca. Good song. Second, well, the cost of college is just too high. The cost for most colleges and universities around the United States ranges between $50,000 to $170,000 per year. So that means that if you come from a middle class family, and let's say that your father, or let's say that your mother, earns an income within $30,000 to $40,000 per year, basically they are $20,000 to $140,000 short of the cost of a four-year university. Example, Hofstra, Adelphi, University of Iowa, Harvard, etc., etc. They don't meet the requirements. And yeah, you can apply for financial aid, you can apply for a loan, but here's another thing. Let's say you get the loan, you get the financial aid. What about when you graduate college and you're in a job search? Is it guaranteed that after college you're going to get a job? Well, let me put it simple. Let me put it this way. Nothing in life is ever guaranteed. It's funny because I was reading a blog, from a professor, and she was saying that when you go to college, after you graduate, you live a happy life, a more successful life. And I found that to be funny because I know a lot of people who have graduated with their master's degree, with their bachelor's degree, with an associate's degree, and all those people who I know, all of them, they work at a part-time job, either in a pizza shop, doing customer service at Target, guest relations for some big-time sports team, or they're at home living off of welfare. That's successful? Is that success? Is that happiness? No. The answer is no. Another thing you need to keep in mind, and if you're going to list this, I think this should be your number one reason why you shouldn't go to college. The general education / Common Core classes. Now, let me get something straight. I have nothing against Common Core. In high school, at least. I always feel that Common Core for college is a waste of time. Why? Because think about it. You spend 4 years of your life already in high school learning algebra, learning trigonometry, learning geometry, learning physics, perhaps a calculus class, but I've yet to hear about a high school in this country that teaches calculus. So if you know any high school that teaches calculus, comment in the comment section down below. I've yet to hear of one of them, by the way. But think about it. You do 4 years of that, of math, of English, of science, and then you go off to college. And you're so excited because you're going to be learning about, your major. Let's say it's TV production, like in my case. You're going to learn about writing a script. You're going to learn about, operating a switcher. You're going to learn about producing. You're going to learn about directing. But you go in and then you realize that you spend the first 3 years of college taking general education classes, advanced algebra, quantitatives, percentages, geometry, trigonometry, all that stuff that really have nothing to do with your major. Of course, it depends on what your major is, of course. But I always say that if you're majoring in journalism, if you're majoring in television, and you're majoring in film, why the heck are you taking these courses? Somebody explain to me, what does calculus have to do with counting 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, roll? Someone explain that to me. I always say this. People have this idea that taking math, taking English, taking the science, that'll discipline you. Well, no, it won't. What'll discipline you is you, yourself, and only you. How? By showing restraint, by maturing. That's what I think college is for. College is for people who really need to mature. People who still laugh at childish jokes like knock knock who's there, or if someone says I'm on top of you and they immediately think of something else. That's maturing. That's what college should be for. College was created with the sole purpose, ladies and gentlemen, of educating, not training. And right now, it's being used as a tool to get people to go and train for these jobs that really, when you graduate and you get your first job in the TV industry or whatever industry, everything you learned in college goes where? To la basura. Because everything you learn in college isn't really what's going on in the real world. It's a fact. It's been proven. There are people out there who have said this. And if you don't believe me, listen to what this guy said.
You do these ridiculous introductory courses. One's called Frame and Sequence, and the other one's called Sound Image. So Frame and Sequence is basically a slideshow. You take still pictures and put together a visual story. Now, this is the most artsy, pretentious, non-real world way to teach a young person how to make a movie. It's like very artsy and academic, where they're like, we're going to teach you how to appreciate the frame and storytelling by having you do a slideshow. And you spend like 4 months on this thing. And at the final project, you put together a slideshow. And then the other course, sound image, is a radio class. You do a radio drama. It's all with audio. So you spend your first year at NYU, you haven't even touched a camera. Meanwhile, if you skip film school and just start getting on real film sets, you're already making stuff, and you're actually learning, and you can get a professional experience. Or you have to deal with all these stupid general ed classes.
Am I wrong? Some of you are saying yes. Some of you are saying no. Again, I am no one to judge you for your choices. You want to go to college? Go to college, fine. You want to live the happy life, the drunk life, the high life? Go ahead. I'm not going to stop you. I'm just giving you a reason to think. Think before you decide what path you decide to go. Now, here's why you should go to college. You want to be a lawyer, you need to go to law school. You want to be a doctor, well, you need to go to medical school. These are jobs that are required to go to college. Because I don't think that New York University Langone Medical Center is going to hire some bum off the street who says that he knows how to insert a needle, and when he gets there, he doesn't know how to put the damn thing in the shoulder. Or if you want to be a lawyer, you know how there are posted signs that say cheap divorce? Well, guess what? The people who are offering cheap divorces really aren't lawyers. They're spokespeople. They're sales rep. They're not lawyers. Some of the best lawyers come from the greatest law schools in the country. Harvard, Yale, UCLA, Adelphi, Hofstra. Those type of jobs are worth going to college for. But for jobs like film, for jobs like media, television, or media, whatever, however you put it, not really. Not really. And, and there's a guy who once said on a YouTube video, and he went to NYU Film School. He said when you go to film school at a university, you spend more time in a classroom learning physics, learning algorithms, and learning stuff that really have nothing to do with your major, instead of learning how to do film. And when you learn film, what do you learn? You learn the basics. And there are several programs outside of colleges and universities that offer you classes that teach you the basics without the BS, without the math, without the English, without the science. Obviously, as I said before, for a much cheaper price, but that really are just worthy. I mean, for me, as I said before, I was going to get my associate's degree in video arts and technology, specifically in television production, audio and video. And I needed a total of 60 credits to take one introductory course. One. I asked myself, is this really worth it? Then I came to the conclusion, no, it wasn't. Yeah, you're going to get pressured from your parents, from peers. Hey, listen, my father's old boss was a nice guy. Ever since I graduated high school, he has been pushing me to go to college. Get your bachelor's degree. Get your master's degree. Well, guess what? His son-in-law went to college 6 times, has 6 master's degrees. 6 master's degrees. And guess what? The guy is a car salesman. His master's degree got him a job as a salesman. A car salesman. I know a girl who used to work with me at Yankee Stadium. She got her master's degree in journalism. She doesn't work in journalism. She's a payroll coordinator for a major sports organization. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? And I know you're going to hear stories about how, you know, oh, I went to so and so university, and after I graduated, I got a job, I interned, and whatnot, and whatnot. But that's not everyone. If everyone who went to college got a job immediately after graduating, then you know what? I wouldn't be making this video, and I would be in college right now, or at least I would be studying. But the fact is that nothing in life is ever guaranteed. I want you to really remember that. Get that in your head. Nothing in life is ever guaranteed. You can go to Harvard. You can get a master's degree in Harvard in law or in media or in communication studies or in liberal arts, in teaching. At the end of the day, that piece of paper, which everyone pays thousands and thousands of dollars for, at the end of the day, it doesn't guarantee you anything. Sometimes it does, about 50% of the time, depending where you live, who your family is. Because let's face it, unfortunately, this is how society works. This is how the American culture is. And listen, I'm a proud American, but I'm open and I'm man enough to admit that there are flaws. Okay? One of the biggest flaws is discrimination and priority. I get discriminated on a lot. Why? Because I'm in a wheelchair. Okay? And, I've applied for different jobs. I graduated from broadcasting school. I've done work in the broadcast industry before. And I've gotten interviews. But at the end of the day, I haven't gotten the job I wanted. And 90% of the time, it's because of the fact that I'm in a wheelchair and because employers don't want to hire someone who's in a wheelchair, unfortunately. But in your case, for those who are not disabled, the problem with you is you could have the shiny degree, but you don't have the experience. You're probably asking yourself, then why do employers require degrees? Well, guess what? Because the employer, your boss, your potential boss, they're not the ones who put out the job opening. Those are human resources people. And 90% of the time, human resources people don't know what the heck they should put as job requirements for certain jobs. Okay? That's a fact. That's a fact. What do I suggest for people who want to do stuff in media, in communication, in film? Well, if you live in New York or if you live in LA, there's something called the New York Film Academy. The New York Film Academy offers you bachelor's degrees and associate's degrees, but they also offer you a 1-year certificate program in which they'll teach you how to write scripts, storyboarding, filming, getting the good shot, how to produce this, how to produce that. And I've heard that it's wonderful. If you go on Google, it gets 5 stars, okay? If you want to do broadcasting, if you live in New York, if you live in Connecticut, you live in Boston, you live in Florida, check out Connecticut School of Broadcasting. Great facility. I enjoyed it. However, I will warn you, if you are someone who is not passionate about media, then don't go to the school because it won't be for you. This is for people who are passionate about what they do or what they want to do. That's the type of people who should go to these type of programs. But if you're someone who says, oh yeah, I want to do this, I want to do that, but really doesn't make an effort to study or do the class projects or the homework assignments, then sorry, you should consider doing something else. Okay? College is not for everyone. And I'm not here to tell you don't go to college. I'm giving you reasons why you shouldn't go and why you should go. The fact of the matter is that college, at the end of the day, is a business. All of these schools around the U.S., from UCLA to Harvard to the University of Iowa, Iowa State, University of Illinois, NYU, Cornell, all of these schools are competing against each other. They're competing against each other for one thing only, to see how many graduates gets jobs and represents their school. How many of their students as parents give them money so their child can spend 4 years of supposedly learning? I'm sorry, I can't do the air quotes because I'm disabled, so I can't really flex my fingers. But you get what I'm saying. Remember this. No one in this world can tell you how to live your life or what to do with your life, especially when it comes to education. The choice is yours and yours only, okay? Yeah, your parents are going to say, oh, well, you don't go to college, you're not going to get this and this and that. Well, let's face it. Nothing against our parents, but our parents were raised in a different era, a different decade. Technology was not as available to them as it is to us now. Heck, most of the stuff I learned in media was self-taught. Why? Because of YouTube videos. You can find anything on the internet now. Anything. Anything. Have you seen the commercial about the U.S. Army veteran who wanted to learn more about physics and he took classes on YouTube about physics, bought textbooks, studied, and learned it, and now he teaches physics in a university? I don't remember the name of the university, but the commercial is out there on YouTube. I highly recommend you watching it. There are other forms of education, other ways of educating yourself. Unfortunately, we're being blinded. We're being told it's this way and this way only. When really, when you look behind or when you look past the BS, there's a lot more ways. A lot more ways. Share your thoughts with me. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Comment down below. And always, guys, thank you for watching this video. If you like this video or you want to see more videos such as this one, make sure to like, share, and at the end, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at standby4sam and on Instagram at the_believer_28. Till next time, guys, and remember, always stay positive.